So this problem similar to the last one that we did on video, but there's a couple of different caveats for this one. So when you read this problem, you're trying to find Q. So right away, you know you're trying to find flow rate. But we are trying to find Q in gallons per minute, as opposed to the previous example was cubic feet per second. Now we're given a pipe. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to draw another little diagram here for my pipe. My pipe is given a diameter of 10 inches. In this case, that is my pipe diameter. I'm given a velocity that is the same of 2 feet per second. So the difference between this example and the last, we have a larger diameter pipe, same velocity, so we would expect more water to be flowing through this pipe. And we are, again, trying to find Q we want to make sure it's in gallons per minute, right? As opposed to just cubic feet per second like last time. So the same thing, we're going to use our same formula for Q equaling area times velocity. In this case, I don't have the area yet. I'm going to need to calculate it, but my velocity is going to be equal to that 2 feet per second. Okay, so now let's find our area. So area in this case is equal to 0.785, right? That's our formula for area of a circle, times my diameter squared. In this case, my diameter is 10 inches. Now, this one's a little more difficult because what is 10 inches out of a foot exactly as a fraction or a decimal? It's a little bit more complicated. So one way that I like to think of these and do these types of problems, I want to almost think of this as being 10 inches over 12 inches, and that's going to get me to a foot. So I want to think of that being squared. So 10 divided by 12, that's going to give me the exact fraction or the exact decimal that I want, so that this diameter here is in terms of feet instead of inches, right? Another way of looking at that is times 10 over 12, right? Same thing as squaring it. So now this next step, depending on how comfortable you are in your calculator, you can use parentheses and leave it as 10 over 12 times 10 over 12, or do that quick division, 10 divided by 12, and know that you're going to have to round to some extent, but this 10 over 12 here is equal to 0.833, and the 3 just goes on repeating forever. Okay, and that's going to be in feet. So now I can take my calculator. I can do 0.785 times 0.833 times 0.833, and I get an area that is equal to 0.54470, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to round it just to 3 decimal places for now. It's better to keep a couple more digits in your preliminary rounding as opposed to when you get to your final Q, we'll likely round that to 2 decimal places. So if I'm going to round 0.54470 to 3 decimal places, this 7 being greater than 5 is going to cause this 4 to go up to 5. So in this case, I'm looking at 0.545, and that's going to be my square feet. Now, I just want to show you something else. If you're good with your calculator or comfortable with your calculator, you can leave it as brackets so that it's more accurate and you're not rounding this 0.33, but you're going to see here the answer is going to be very similar. So 0.785 times, and in brackets, I'm going to do 10 divided by 12 times, and in brackets again, 10 divided by 12. And that's going to get me to, if I don't round here, that's going to get me to 0.545138, da, 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 da. So when we look at these 3 digits that we're keeping, they're actually the same, 0.545, 0.545. So as far as that, do whichever way you are most comfortable with, whatever way you are more confident with. Okay. So with our area, 0.545 square feet, now we're going to plug that into Q. 545 square feet. I didn't plan out bury my room very well here. So 0.545 times 2. I'm going to clear this space here. So now with my calculator, 0.545 times 2 is going to give me 1.09. 1.09 cubic feet per second. Okay, now, am I done? No, right? My units here, cubic feet per second. I'm trying to get to Q in gallons per minute, right? Now, likely though, on your exam, this is going to be an option. I'll probably put 1.09 gallon per minute so that if you're rushing through the problem, get to see this as an answer, you're not paying attention to your units, or maybe you didn't keep track of your units, you might mistakenly choose this as your answer. So in this case, now we need to convert cubic feet per second to gallons per minute. So we'll start with the 1.09 cubic feet per second. Now I have to have some type of conversion factor here. So in this case, I need to get rid of both the cubic feet and the seconds, right? Because I'm trying to get to gallons per minute. So I typically like to tackle the volume side of things first. So if I'm trying to get rid of cubic feet here, it needs to go down below in my conversion factor. All right, that's going to get the cubic feet to cancel out. I'm trying to bring in gallons in this case. I need to know my conversion factor. I pull out, I look at my handy dandy conversion sheet. I know that there are 7.48 gallons for every 1 cubic foot. I also know that for seconds to cancel out, I need to get rid of seconds. Because seconds is down below here, in my conversion factor, seconds is actually going to go up top. And I'm trying to get to minutes. I know there are 60 seconds for every 1 minute. So now my seconds are going to cancel out. My cubic feet canceled out. When I look at my units across the top, I'm left with only gallons. When I look at my units across the bottom, I'm left with only minutes. So in this case, again, I pull out my calculator now. 1.09 times 7.48 times 60. And that's going to give me 489.19 gallons per minute. And that is going to be my final answer.